Olá, pessoal! Tudo bem? Que bom que vocês estão por aqui, porque, como vocês bem sabem, o Cambly continua com um super trial lesson de graça para vocês.
Oba!
E quem até hoje em dia não fez isso, eu não entendo. Se eu pudesse, daria um puxão de orelha enorme, porque tem professores nativos da língua inglesa 24 horas por dia. Então,
Oba!
assim, não pode de manhã, mas pode à tarde? Tem gente. Não pode à tarde, mas pode à noite? Tem gente. Não pode à noite, mas pode de madrugada? Tem gente. Então,
Oba!
vambora, né? Vai lá no Cambly.com ou no aplicativo do Cambly, se inscreve e lá em menu, em minutos grátis, você coloca o nosso código Inglês no Cru Podcast para ganhar uma free trial, um free lesson, do jeito que você quiser falar, tá bom? Então é isso. Foster, alguma coisa a mais?
No, go to Cambly, talk to native speakers. Let's get on with the show.
Okidoki.
Hello, hey, sweet people, and welcome to another episode of Inglês no Cru Rádio. As always, my name is Foster. I'm an English teacher, and I'm here with the cutest, best guinea pig in the world, Alexia. How are you doing?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. I should have mentioned this in the last episode, but I am recording in a different place and it's kind of loud, but this is the quietest place I can find to record. But maybe you will hear a little bit of background noise with my audio.
Yeah, no problem at all.
So just trying to make sure that everyone knows that maybe you'll hear some sounds in the background, and that's just part of recording a podcast during a pandemic.
Exactly, and maybe here Buddy will start being crazy and play around as well, so don't worry.
Don't worry, the important thing is the English. So let's get right to it.
Yeah.
So this week we are continuing our conversation about useful and fun expressions in English. We've already recorded episodes about work expressions, about body expressions that have to do with the body.
Animals, body, and work.
Exactly. And today we are going to talk about different expressions that have to do with food.
Ooh.
I know that is one of your favorite topics. So are you ready to go, Alexia?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So before we started recording, you said that you do not know many of these.
That's very true. I knew a lot about animals and body. Work, I did okay. And now food, I think that I don't know much.
Okay, that's great. That means we have a lot to learn. So let's begin with a fun one, Alexia. Do you know what the expression "a cup of Joe" means? So when I say a cup of Joe, I'm saying Joe, Joe, like the name.
Tá. But can you say like a phrase with this expression?
Yeah, would you like for me to give you an example?
Yes, please.
Yes. In that case, you can always just say, "Can you give me an example?"
Yeah, I was trying to think about a phrase with that. So, just go ahead, Foster.
Okay, I'll give you an example that might help you a little bit, but also keeps a little bit of mystery. So, hey, Alexia, I'm a little tired. Let's get a cup of Joe.
I would say let's get, I don't know, drink wine.
Drink wine? Yeah, there's nothing like a good glass of wine to wake me up in the morning.
Well, no, maybe. In the morning? You didn't say when was it.
I said I was a little tired.
Yes, but it could be like off work, out of work, and then, no, when you come back from home, when you finish work, and then you are tired, and you are like, okay, I'm tired, let's get a cup of Joe.
Yeah, that does make sense. I was trying not to give you too big of a spoiler, But a cup of
Huh.
joe is a cup of coffee.
I wouldn't know that. I don't drink coffee at all.
That is a good excuse. And to be honest, everyone, I would say almost all Americans know this phrase. They understand exactly what you're saying. If you say a cup of joe, it's probably not as common with people of our generation. So we are 30 years old, but I hear this a lot more frequently with older people, like my parents,
Boomers.
grandparents. Yeah, they often say cup of joe when they're talking about a cup of coffee.
Okay, good to know. Because I know that when your dad or your mom say this to me one day, maybe it's not.
Yeah, so next time you are in the office speaking to an English speaker, if you say, hey, do you want to take a break? Let's get a cup of joe. They will think that's really, really cool.
I wonder where they came with this like cup of Joe. Joe is a guy, poor Joe, and then it became coffee. And why?
Yeah, we kind of use the name Joe.
Maybe this guy was very nice. So John Doe is when it's a person who died and no one knows his identity, right?
Right. If we do not know someone's identity, for males, we say John Doe. For females, we say Jane Doe.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different. We do use the name Joe pretty often as like a placeholder. We also have the phrase an average Joe, which just means
Like a normal guy.
yeah, your average person. Like your average Joe can do this. So you can too. Yeah, so Joe's a nice guy. Okay, are you ready for the next phrase, Alexia?
Yes.
Okay, the next phrase. This one is great. And honestly, I never thought about this phrase as having a connection with food, but it does. So the next phrase we have is in a nutshell.
In a crazy environment.
No. No, not at all. But I really appreciate your attitude and your enthusiasm.
Okay. Can you give me an example?
Yeah.
Please?
So this is a phrase that
I'm feeling that I am in the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire movie.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. Like, can I phone a friend?
yeah.
Yeah, so I always want to use this phrase when I'm teaching or when I'm writing new material for our students. I always want to say things like, okay, so it seems complicated, it's a long story, but in a nutshell, you have to pay attention to your pronunciation to improve your English.
Uh-huh. In a nutshell.
Exactly. So let me give you another example. Alexia's in Portugal. I'm in the U.S. I tried to go to Portugal, but I can't because the travel restrictions are super complicated right now. It's a long story, but in a nutshell, I'm staying in the U.S. Alexia's in Portugal.
Resumindo.
Exactly.
That's weird. Because in a nutshell, I would think like, it's crazy. You know, like, I'm in a nutshell.
What do you understand with a nutshell?
I don't know. Maybe it's because that it was nuts. Maybe it's because of that.
That's true. That's a good expression also. If something's nuts, it's like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's why.
I imagine a nutshell is referring to, so we're actually talking about a nut, like a peanut, a walnut, any kind of nut, and then the shell that keeps that nut safe when it's growing. So it's like very small and contained. It's just to the point. So that's what we're getting at is you're saying something in the least amount of words possible to make things very simple.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I still like mine better, but that's fine. I won't change the American language, so.
Yeah, so essentially in a nutshell means to make a long story short. Resumindo.
Sim.
Perfect. And this one is a little bit informal. Like I would not include it in a business report. But in almost all conversations, it's totally acceptable and very commonly used. So do we have time for a couple of more?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Alexia, I imagine you might know this one, or at least have some good guesses. Do you understand the phrase to wine and dine?
Maybe someone is complaining?
No. Good guess.
No?
So you've never heard this phrase?
I don't think so.
So let me give you...
I said someone is complaining because of, the person is whining about something. It's complaining about something.
Yeah, so to whine, W-H-I-N-E, is to complain. That's another way to say to complain. But this is wine as in vinho, W-I-N-E.
Sim.
So let me give you a real example. When my dad and my mom are going out to eat, my mom will say, "Hey, Foster, do you have dinner plans tonight? Because your dad's taking me out. He's going to wine and dine me."
Aw. This is weird, but that's nice. It's very weird.
It could be weird if you're thinking about it in like a sexual way.
Oh, this is very weird.
But it's not like that.
It's so weird.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Alexia.
Okay, give me another example, please.
Let me just tell you the definition and explain it, because I don't want any dirty images of my parents in my head. So to wine and dine simply means to treat someone to a fancy, normally a dinner, I would say. So it's just...
when you invite someone and then you pay the bill.
Yeah, I would almost exclusively use wining and dining for dates. And it's like, we're going to have a nice meal, probably a date, probably we will drink some wine, and I'm going to pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah. A quite common phrase. It could potentially have some different implications if you use it incorrectly.
Just like Netflix and chill.
Yeah. Almost opposites if you think about it. Netflix and chill
but you can
means...
But you can have different connotations the way that you say it.
Yeah. So just to explain, Netflix and chill is a much more modern expression that could mean, hey, do you want to watch Netflix and chill and relax? But it's often used as a euphemism for sexual activity.
Yes.
Yeah. But in general, Netflix and chill seems very casual, and to wine and dine is very fancy.
Okay.
Okay, cool. The last phrase of the day. Alexia, can I get a drum roll? The last phrase that we have connected to food for today is to be fed up.
I'm done with that. I can't stand that anymore. I'm fed up.
Exactly. And this is another one that I honestly have never thought about this being connected to food, but to be fed up, this is the verb to feed in the past. So
it's to be completely full of food.
Completely full.
Full with food.
Yeah, exactly. You are filled up. So to feed, alimentar, right? And if you're fed up, you are completely full.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you explain this to me?
Yes, I am fed up with a lot of things right now, but especially the thing that we can't travel to see each other. I'm fed up with that.
Exactly. And how would you translate this in Portuguese?
Eu tô de saco cheio.
Saco cheio. Yeah, perfect. I was going to say...
Yeah, mas é exatamente a mesma coisa, saco cheio.
É.
Tipo...
Eu estou pensando, não aguento mais.
Ou isso, não aguento mais.
Estou de
mas
saco
assim,
cheio.
tô de saco
Perfeito.
cheio. É.
Cool. I think that's a perfect place to end for today, Alexia. Sakushu.
Okie dokie. So it was good. See, I didn't know much. I learned a lot. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, that was great. Tomorrow we will be back in your ears with some more fun expressions with food. So until then, grab a cup of Joe. Don't get fed up with us. I don't know how to use wine and dine.
Take someone to Wine and Dine.
In a nutshell, just have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Muito obrigada por ter escutado mais um episódio aqui do Inglês de Necrorádio. É muito bom ter você juntinho assim de nós. Faz muito, muito carinho no nosso coração, digamos assim. Então você que está interessado em saber mais sobre os nossos produtos e saber mais sobre a gente, o que a gente oferece para vocês em relação a estudo, a challenge, a curso, vá lá no inglesdenecro.com e você pode ver mais sobre as worksheets, por exemplo.
Yeah. If you want to really improve your English, if you want to learn more about the ways you can do that and just connect with us on a deeper level, go to inglesdenecro.com. And as always, keep up the good fight.
And lose well.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye.